Okay, so you've decided to shoot some photos in RAW mode, you've been out to a great location, and now you're back at home and eager to see the results. But where do you start? Well, in this video I'll show you exactly how to get RAW files from your camera onto your PC, and then how to organize them and open them up into Adobe Camera Raw. Right, let's get going. It's a good idea to use a card reader to transfer your photos from camera to PC. These tend to be much quicker than most cameras' USB connections, and it means that you won't have to leave your camera switched on whilst transferring your shots. So let's slot the card in. And as you can see, the icon has appeared here. And if we double click it, you'll see the folder that contains our photos. Now we're going to open up Photoshop CS2, and then we're going to use the bridge to take a look at the results of our shoot. If you're using an earlier version of Photoshop, then you can use the file browser to do this instead. So to open the bridge, simply go to File and Browse, or you can hit Alt, Ctrl and O. And if it's not already highlighted, click on the My Computer option here. We can see our memory card over here, so I'm just going to double click on that to open it up. And here's our folder full of photos. What we want to do is copy this folder to our computer, so we're going to click and drag the folder across to wherever you'd keep your digital pictures normally. Now I'm going to use this folder here called Digital Photos, so I'm just going to click on this folder and then drag it across to the Digital Photos folder here. And you can see that the bridge is copying those files across from this location to this one. So now I'm going to click on this folder over here, which is sat on our computer's hard drive. And here's the copy of our folder which we've just made. So let's now rename this folder to something a bit more useful. It's a good idea to name your folders so that you'll be able to find the shots you're looking for with a minimum of fuss. Something like location and date is usually a safe option. Okay, so just click on the name of the folder down here, and I'm going to call it Village Pub September 2007, as that's where and when these pictures were taken. Just click off there to apply the new name. And I'm going to open up this folder into the bridge by double clicking it. Okay, so here's the thumbnails of our shots, and as you can see, there's some other windows over here which display a variety of information. These two windows here, Favorites and Folders, allow you to navigate easily through the different folders on your PC. And up here, if you click the Metadata tab, you can see lots of data about each of the pictures. And this tells you loads of useful information about how each shot was taken. It's really useful for checking out the settings you used on your camera at the time of capture. And by clicking and dragging these bars here, you can resize all of these windows to whatever size suits you best. Now the bridge is a very clever piece of software and can help you out in all sorts of ways. You can view your pictures, sort and organize them, and even add ratings and keywords to make keeping track of your shots really easy, as we'll discover. Let's start at the important bit, the thumbnails window. Now this is a great way to look at your files. It's easy to trawl through large amounts of pictures, and by using the slider down here at the bottom, you can easily change the size of the files from small to very big. And because the bridge has cached all these files into its memory, you can do this on the fly, in real time. Now it's worth noting at this stage, if you can't see any images previewed in here, and you just see a list of file names, then you may have to use a workaround to convert your RAW files into a format that the bridge and Camera Raw are going to be compatible with. Now if this happens to you, don't panic. There's a video on this very disk that explains exactly how to do this, and the good news is, it really is very easy. Now we're going to use the bridge to rename all of these files to something that's a bit more meaningful than the names they have at the moment. MG5133 doesn't really tell us a lot about the picture, so I think we can do a lot better than that. First, we want to select all of the files, so hit Ctrl and A, and that'll highlight all of the pictures in our window. And then go to the Tools menu here and choose Batch Rename. And this brings up the Batch Rename window. And you can also get here by hitting Ctrl, Shift and R on the keyboard. So we're just going to use the subject and date for the file name. It's just a nice and logical way to organize your shots. First, just make sure that this rename in the same folder option is clicked on, and then move down to this first text window. And in here, we're going to enter Village Pub. Down here, I'm just going to click there and choose the text option. So type a space and then enter your date. And in the third option, I'm going to choose sequence number. We're going to go for 3 digits, that's fine. And we're going to start our numbering at 1. Down here at the bottom of the window, you can see a preview of how your file name will appear. Now that looks fine to me, so I'm going to go ahead and click rename to start the process. And there we are. In the blink of an eye, Bridge has gone off, done all the hard work for us and renamed all of those files. I'll just magnify this slightly so we can see the full file names. It's worth taking a look at the other ways that we can view our files within the Bridge. Down here we have a series of 4 small icons. We've got Thumbnails View, which is the view we're using at the moment, and also Versions and Alternates. If we click this one, you've got a Details option and also a Film Strip view. Now this view is really handy for looking at your pictures, as you can see them at a really good size here. And it's fantastic for sorting through your photos and deciding which shots you want to keep and which ones you can safely get rid of. If we click through the shots, it's very easy to see what's going on in each of them. So start looking for shots that are out of focus or maybe overexposed and that we'd generally be wasting our time by keeping. These sort of pics aren't really going to be any use to us. Now this shot here is quite badly overexposed, and you can see there's very little detail in these light areas. I think we can probably get rid of this straight away, as it looks as if it's beyond hope, and we have plenty of other shots that are much better. So simply go up to the trash can icon here and click delete item. And yes, we're sure, so click OK. And it's gone. Okay, let's continue through our shots. Right, so these shots look okay, but they're very underexposed. But this isn't really a problem, as Camera Raw will be able to sort these out, as you'll see in another video on this disc. So let's carry on clicking through here. Now this picture looks really out of focus and isn't really going to be much use to us. As is this one here, it's very soft. So I'm going to get rid of these 2 pictures, and I'm just going to hold down the Shift key and highlight this, so we've got both of these out of focus shots selected, and again hit the trash can icon there, and we'll get rid of those. Okay, so we've gotten rid of the shots that aren't going to be any use to us, so now it makes sense to sort out the ones we have got left into some sort of order. Luckily, the Bridge has a handy star rating system that will make doing this very easy. Now all this entails is clicking down here where you can see these 5 small dots, and you can rate your shots from 1 star, 3 stars, or right up to 5 stars. So I'll quickly go back to the beginning here and just choose a few and rate them accordingly. So let's rate these 2 images here as 3-star images. Then let's rate this group here as 4-star images. Maybe these 2 here as 2 stars. You get the idea, it's a quick way of just grading your shots. And let's call these 4 images here 4-star images. These underexposed ones, well, we're not so keen on those, so let's give them 1 star. And the images remaining here we'll give 2 stars to. Let's go back to the thumbnails view by clicking on the thumbnails icon down here. There we go, and we'll just shrink these down a little bit. So now we've rated all our pictures, we can actually choose which ones we want to view up here. You can see it says unfiltered at the moment, so this means we're seeing the entire contents of our folder, but we can choose to show 1 or more stars, 2 or more, 3 or more, or finally 4 or more stars, which has really narrowed our selection of pictures down. Okay, so that's all of the files copied onto our PC, renamed, sorted and rated. A little time spent doing this will make keeping track of your photos a really easy task. And it's also worth thinking about backing up all of your precious images to something like an external hard drive. You might even consider getting 2 of these and keeping multiple archives of your files. Just be sure not to put all your eggs in one basket by keeping them on just one computer. If something does go wrong, that could prove disastrous. So it really is worth spending a little time and money making a good backup of all your pictures. Finally, I'm going to open one of these pictures into Camera Raw where we can work on it further. So I'm going to choose this image here and then simply double click it to open it up. So here we are in the Camera Raw interface itself, and we're ready to work on our shot. And in the rest of the videos on this disc, you'll discover how Camera Raw will open up a vast range of creative options and allow you to get the best possible results from the shots that you've taken.